Now I can freely say good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for staying with us after session 1. This is session 2, and I hope we'll have interesting presentations and fruitful discussions as we had in session 1 as well. Let me introduce our first speakers in this session 2. There are two of them, Angela Nikolic and Angela Cvetinovic. They come from YouTestMe company, and the topic of their presentation today is high-stakes exam transitioning from traditional to online test center. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Okay, hello everyone. First of all, we want to say that we are very glad to be here today with you. My name is Angela, and this is my colleague also Angela, and we come from YouTestMe company. And today we will present our IT solution for online examination. But first, let me briefly introduce our company. YouTestMe is an IT company with a head office in Toronto, in Canada. We specialize in delivering custom and complete solutions for online examination, for knowledge testing and evaluation. The company was established 30 years ago, which means 30 years of experience, and we still keep developing and improving all our features, our software, based on the present and future needs of online examination. We came to the product, which we are very proud of, Online Testing Center. Online Testing Center is a one-stop solution where you can outsource every step of your examination process for a one-time fee without need to rent or buy software. Now we will play a video which will show you more of our software and you can get more familiar with.
Governments want various organizations and Assessments are crucial to measuring knowledge, skills, and competencies in various organizations. Governments want a secure exam provision for their civil servants, corporations need high-quality recruitment tests, and colleges must provide a trustworthy exam environment for their scholars. All these organizations often seek help from online testing centers when they lack the conditions to organize the tests independently. But there are many factors to look into before considering it. For instance, can online testing centers replace traditional ones? Traditional testing centers are becoming less and less prominent. Why? Because an online approach makes it more accessible to people worldwide. It's environmentally friendly. Scalability isn't a concern, and it ensures report accuracy. So is the solution to all the problems simply moving online? How do you do it? Who will monitor the candidates? Is this option secure? YouTestMe can do it all. YouTestMe Online Testing Center represents a one-stop solution for everyone looking for an easy way to create and distribute tests. We transfer, preserve, and strengthen the integrity of traditional examinations in testing centers to the comfort of your home. A one-time fee saves you the trouble of having to buy or rent software. We guarantee high security, accuracy, and correctness in grading and submitting reports for your exams. All you need to do is to book time for your exam and provide us with all the necessary details. A list of users in an Excel file, questions, test configuration, and proctoring preferences. Leave everything to us. Test creation, proctoring, grading reports, etc. We create tests and sign up students. Students log in, choose a preferred date and time, pay for the test, and take it at their convenience. Students do an equipment check and an ID verification on the test day. Students are politely greeted by their assigned proctors before the test is started. Our certified proctors monitor candidates in real time regardless of their time zone and make sure they are not cheating. After the exam, grades are released and successful students are awarded certificates. We deliver all reports to you via email, including proctoring reports and various statistics. Organizations worldwide are switching to online testing centers to save time and reduce administrative costs. You can be more productive, save money, and still have the complete experience of taking a proctored exam, all from the comfort of your own home. That's it. The YouTestMe customer success team performs all the work for you. See you for your next exam.
Okay, so can you hear me like this, or should I use my microphone? Yes. So I will briefly walk you through the main features of our exam software. And by the way, YouTestMe Get Certified is the LMS and the sophisticated exam builder in one solution. It is a flexible, one-stop solution for all types of knowledge assessments. It features automated test and answer generator, simple organization of questions in question pools, robust and advanced reporting system, certificate designer, adjustable grading, automated and lab proctoring, and much more. So now that we are talking about online test center and that concept, two main features of the online test centers are testing locations and advanced booking system. Testing locations allow test owners, for example in this case universities, to create both physical and virtual locations and assign time zones and the proctors to those locations. Exams can be conducted remotely as on the physical locations, and our goal is to provide a complete flexibility of exam delivery and ensure the optimal service for both test owners, universities, and students. If the exam is performed at a physical location, for example in classroom, or virtually, but there is a proctor assigned to the session, a human proctor, test owners can use our advanced booking system in order to predefine seating capacities, booking deadlines, cancellation deadlines, as well as the exam fees, as well as the reseat exam fees, the fees for some group memberships, training courses, and so on. And I think we all know by now what the online proctoring is. It is a nightmare for every student, and the most sophisticated cheating prevention mechanism for universities. Proctoring is just one of the features of our exam software, and our proctoring utilizes artificial intelligence technology where the system records and monitors students' test attempts using behavior trackers. Now, behavior trackers are predefined according to test owners' criteria. After the exam is finished, recording is generated, as well as proctoring credibility report, which is the report on candidates' behavior during the exam, and the video recording is available for subsequent human validation and review. Students are recorded using their microphone and camera during the whole test-taking process. Also, YouTestMe Get Certified features over 40 types of predefined reports on tests, students, question statistics, and so on. Some of the most useful reports are item reliability reports, knowledge deficiency, and so on. However, the more important tool is our sophisticated report builder that allows you to create precise and custom reports and therefore compare individual and group data according to your needs. Now, let's talk about how YouTestMe helped a prominent Canadian institute to transfer from traditional to online testing centers. Not only we helped, we basically created this concept of online testing center from the scratch by combining the premium enterprise technology, which is our software, and our exceptional customer service. High-stakes exams are now taken from the comfort of candidates' homes, not only maintaining but also strengthening the test integrity. We will see why. So the Investment Fund Institute of Canada, with its educational arm, IFSI Institute, use our platform for online exams in both English and French, and tests are monitored by YouTestMe certified proctors 7 days a week in different time zones. Now, what was the problem? IFSI counts hundreds of thousands tests annually, which are conducted at different locations in different time zones. You can imagine how costly this is. Also, this test format wasn't uniform for all the cities and all the different testing centers. And it was very hard for IFSI Institute to perform the effective data collection and meaningful analysis, and to keep the record of their exams. Therefore, the IFSI Institute needed a software and a service that would enable them to transfer from their obsolete and administratively complex system to something more standardized and up-to-date. YouTestMe provided end-to-end solution to their problem. So their historical data was migrated using our various integration and customization concepts, and the whole workflow is covered. Candidates now can buy the test online on YouTestMe platform, which is, by the way, completely standardized and branded according to their organizational standards. So they do not know that you're using some external system, of course. Then they can schedule a date, book a date, one of the offered dates for their exam. When the test is scheduled, they receive email notification with all the test details and instructions. Then the email is sent regularly to remind candidates not to forget about the exam and to prepare them. The important thing is that candidates will have an opportunity to perform their equipment check even before the official exam. And in this way, we avoid all the technical issues that may occur, because they would, again, take this test from their computer, their home, and so on. Of course, the whole point is that candidates take tests from the comfort of their homes, and those tests are perfectly safe, secure, and the test integrity is maintained. And in addition to the artificial intelligence technology of our AI proctoring, for IFSI Institute, we also provide live proctoring services, meaning that YouTestMe proctors remote candidates real time, in addition to all of the behavior trackers. Now, why? During the exam, it is common for candidates to feel a sort of exhaustion, confusion. So they could, for example, look away in a moment of thought, and actually the AI technology would record such moment as cheating. And that is why our proctors are there in order to intervene. Proctors greet each candidate individually on the test date, present them with the rules again, and they're there during the whole test-taking process to assist them in any other way. Now, this is the most secure solution for delivering online exams, and more affordable, which we'll cover later, as this solution minimizes the potential for cheating to an absolute minimum, because here we have the human and technology combined. And the outcomes of such approach are, of course, this is the more affordable approach than traditional testing centers, both in terms of the money and time, and both for the universities or test owners, the corporations, government, or whatever the organization is, and for candidates. Now, why? For example, in this specific case, the 80% of the manual labor was offloaded. So the whole process is completely automated. The costs are significantly reduced because there are no more travel expenses, there are no more rental for physical locations, testing centers around the country, there are no more paper printing expenses, staff that were performing manual work, and so on. And maybe more even important, the profits are increased because now those tests can be delivered even more than in traditional ways, simply because of this remote large-scale assessment system. And perhaps the most important part is what I already mentioned, is higher security than in traditional environments like classroom, testing center, because simply the live supervisors cannot see everything, and in this way we have the technology and the human combined together. And here you can see some of our statistical data of our company, and this is now time for Q&A session. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for an interesting presentation. I'm always amazed by those things because I really desperately need them in my classroom. Okay, are there any questions? Yes.
I have a very practical question. So you talk about security. How do you control ID?
ID?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Because initially we thought we had 20 minutes and we can talk like 2 hours. We have various cheating prevention mechanisms. So regarding the proctoring, if you remember in video, there is a one step which is optional for every institution that can be enabled or disabled, depends on simply institutional regulations. That includes the ID verification. So it goes like this. Students have their profiles in the system where they upload their profile picture. Then at the exam date, before they start the exam, they perform that equipment check, which is just the network check, is the camera, webcam, microphone working, and so on. And there is the option to include the ID verification. So they can take a photo. I mean, test owners can require from them to take a photo, so one more snapshot, and to upload or take a photo of their ID. Then the system compares the photo, the profile picture, which is in the system, the taken picture before the exam, the ID photo, and the person which is in front of the screen. And those are those behavior trackers. For example, one of the behavior trackers which is flagged as a suspicious moment is when it says the face is not the one that is in the ID, so not matching faces in the system.
Yeah, that's the system I know. So the candidate still needs to go to the institute and on site take a picture.
No, they're taking. Let me. I'm gladly. I would like to show you.
So for the registration, the candidate doesn't need to go.
No. They create their profile online.
Mm-hmm.
They upload their own picture, and at the exam date, I'm just gonna mute this here and show you in this video the part where the candidate is taking photo, like using their webcam. So here it is. So this is the equipment check. You can see that because you as a test owner, universities, needs to be sure that they can share their screen, that their browser is working, webcam, microphone, and so on. Here's that part. So that photo, as well as, I think here, yeah, it's not shown. Then at the same step, candidates can show their ID or upload it.
I have 2 questions. If I have a closed book exam, and this online students remotely from his apartment, for instance, should be isolated totally not to use the internet or his PCs as a source of information. How can you prevent this? We used to use this, but we forced students to use a special program that we control his computer and so on, but I don't know how you do that. This is the first question. And the second question is, what is the cost of usage of this? Because when we analyze some cost issues from our point of view, where tuition fees are pretty low, we cannot afford to pay 1,000 or 2,000 euros per exam because it's too expensive for us. So what should be the cost of usage of this service that you provide?
Thank you for your question. So the first question was how you control. So the automated proctoring is the system that, as I said, records, monitors in this screen here. We would also be glad to share a demo with you if you want to try out our software after this conference. So the system is recording both the candidate, which is seen here, you can see her here, and her screen. And the system has also the possibility to enable the lockdown browser, meaning that candidates cannot exit their screen, their test-taking screen. If they exit, the test is automatically terminated. Also, there is an optional step before the exam where you as a university or test owner can require, which is called the environment check. So before the test starts, candidates use their phones to record the environment, so you as instructors can see that they do not have any books or anyone in the room. And by the way, this system records any background noise, and if anyone is speaking in the background, and many of other things. So this is because we are in the industry, and this is why the IFSI actually transformed from the traditional to online, is because this is the most secure way. There is less chance to cheat in this way, where you have both human and technology applied, than in traditional environments. So that is how we ensure that candidates do not cheat. They cannot. So they record their environment. We have all of the behavioral trackers enabled. It depends on you, what you want to track, but we always recommend, of course, the highest security. And of course, it depends on the certification, if the exam is high stake or just some regular, I don't know, practice test. But yes, the chances are minimal. And regarding,
I just want to add something, that all these videos of the candidates, you may see once again once the test is finished. So proctors are looking again if they notice something suspicious. So they can see all that and check and send you the report about the proctoring report. It's also existed in our software.
yes, and here is the example in the presentation. This is the proctoring report that is automatically generated. Just let me open it. So here you can see some green and red parts. This is the proctoring report, meaning that this is the report on candidates' behavior, which is generated since the system is using those behavior trackers. And even though you had a live proctor at the session, they're available, the footage is available for additional and subsequent reviews. So proctor can go over only the red parts. They do not have to watch 1 hour, 2 hours, 8 hours. We had examples of our test lasting for 8 hours with all the breaks. They can just jump to red parts and see if the candidates cheated or not. And regarding your second question, the price very depends. We have flexible pricing models, so there is no a fixed price. And regarding this concept of online test center, that is basically the point. because you can pay only for your exams and not without needing to rent or buy the software. The price depends on the if the live proctoring is performed also by YouTestMe certified proctors, how regularly, the exam time, of course, and so on. So we would be glad to connect you with our sales manager if you're interested in learning more about our pricing models.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. It's really interesting to see what's happening on the other side, not just the research. I also have two questions. Since you say this could be either done with proctoring institutions or by your certified proctors, even though it's traditional, we sometimes have very interesting situations of you caught them essentially cheating, and then in the end we still have to kind of talk through, oh, I haven't cheated, I didn't copy, or so. When there is a situation that you say there's a suspicious thing going on and somebody's reviewing, and maybe whoever is doing the test is saying, but I did not cheat, how do you, what do you say as the mitigation or the going through the whole process of finally deciding, oh, this person actually cheated, maybe the person saying maybe the software was wrong or whatever. So what would be the steps in concluding, you actually failed the test because we concluded that you cheated, and the person says, well, I did not cheat, the software is wrong. And the second question is, because some stuff that you show mostly show the multiple choice questions, just if you can elaborate more what type of questions the system supports. For instance, let's say we use it in a classroom, we have all sorts of different, from decoding to essay questions to mathematical problems, so on. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. So, thank you for your question. I'm going to answer the shorter one first. We have 10 types of questions, and that's increasing like month by month. So the question types we have is single choice, multiple choice, hotspot, where candidates are required to click on the spot of an image instead of answering. And this is the way that you as the teachers can test practical knowledge, for example, geographical areas and so on. As it were. We have essay questions, which, by the way, is the only question type that needs to be graded manually. All the others are automated, and this is why also our software is very helpful, because the whole process is automated. You don't have to have teachers grading questions. We have metrics, ordering, fill in the blanks, true, false. So metrics is like Likert scale, ordering, where the students should place the items in the correct order. I think I forgot one, but fill in the blanks with predefined offered answers as well as a free text form. So various question types. And of course, all of our question types support all the media. So both PDF, video, audio. And perhaps important thing to mention here is that we are continuously working on improvement of our software interface in order to be compliant to people with disabilities. And we are FIO 8 compliant software. So that is covered as well. That's why you're going to see these shapes and colors in the interface. Yes, and your first question was if students say we're not cheating. This is handled by our proctors. However, the rules are defined by institution. So if they cannot come to conclusion afterwards, the proctor says that they're not sure. But if the institute, for example, sets the specific rules and says, okay, the candidate can be in toilet but 5 minutes sharp. After 5 minutes, terminate their test. They know the rules. They paid for this exam. This is a high-stake exam. They do not have the privilege to act in this way. And usually we don't have such problems because, as I said, that those are high-stake exams, and people really do want to pass these tests in a regular way because those are certificates for investment funds, finance, and so on. So to clarify once again, the organization sets the rules according which our proctors behave and terminate tests. If there is something that is not clear afterwards, after 1, 2, 3, 4 reviews of video recordings, then we intervene with the institution. However, we are the most experienced people in this field right now, so we have lots of experience and can see. And the artificial intelligence really helps because it can say if though that was background noise, like the cars in front of on the street, or was someone whispering the answers.
Okay, thank you. Is it all? Okay, thank you. We have one more question.
Probably I have 3 questions.
Okay.
Very short, very
One
quick.
person, 3 questions.
It's to optimize it. Well, I would like to know if it is possible to integrate the system with open systems such as Moodle. The other one is where I guess the data is stored in your servers, probably. So it's not in the institution.
No, actually, do you want me to answer right away?
Yeah, of course.
First, we specialize in integrations and customization processes. That's our specialty, in addition to all of this technology. So we can integrate with any system, like anything you can imagine, through an API, LTI, web services, flat files, and so on. And basically, this is the most common way of how our clients are using our software. We are the LMS, we have training courses. However, our online exam software is the best in the market. And for example, if institutions are using Moodle, which they do, and Blackboard, they come to us and they say, okay, they also have the module for exams, but we want something more advanced. Can you integrate with our Moodle platform? And first, candidates can do their courses in the Moodle platform, so we embed our link in their platform, and as I said, the white labeling is completely customizable. You can rent the interface, so candidates do not even see the transition from the institutional software and ours. For example, recently we did that for Lufthansa, which is the famous aviation company, where we had some survey afterwards, and none of the students actually noticed the transition from 2 systems because of the perfect integrations.
Okay, and I come from a university that during COVID was using proctoring systems integrated into Moodle, and the problem was not the technology, the problem was load.
Slow?
Yeah, no, the problem was the load. The load that we have at Europe is the EU GDPR. They told us that the student could refuse to be recorded into their personal space. So we have some problems, and important problems related with this. I don't know if you have had some kind of experience with this kind of rules, or people arguing or not wanted to be recorded, or maybe here the problem was not to record the face of the person, or is to record the space. It was our problem during the COVID.
So since we are the provider of the exam software as well as the services, we don't deal with those things. Those are institutional issues, the organization that is providing the exams. However, in my experience for 5 years now, we haven't had such problem.
We have had very serious problems.
I think maybe your students used that in order to avoid tests in that time, because it recorded.
Actually, it's the law that prevents you from doing all those things.
And
because
which
it says
country?
you mustn't. Even in Serbia, there are some legal restrictions on what you can do, even with facial ID,
Yes.
because those are very, very much personal things. I mean, like personal identity. So you mustn't take that. But it's a perfectly. I do understand your point of view. I mean, if someone is wants to do it and wants to pass that exam, that's perfectly okay. I agree. If I consent, that's perfectly okay. Yeah, legal aspect is...
We have various certifications, GDPR, for example, regarding the data privacy. So I believe that that covers that part. And regarding your second question, did you ask about deployment servers? So we can, the software can be hosted on cloud, on your YouTestMe cloud, dedicated cloud, so there is no shared space, which is very, very important for all of the organizations, universities, corporation, governments, as well as the on-premise solution or your cloud. If you, as an organization, have your own servers, you can host it there, on your premises, basically. So both options are available.
So if I understood that clearly, that means that if you buy our institution, right. So if our institution buys the product, then we can own everything, both the software, the product, and the data.
Exactly.
So it's only ours. Right?
One-time fee in that case, and you're the full owner of the software.
Okay, and can you tell us one-time fee?
It depends, really. It depends on the package. So it varies from. It depends. Really.
Okay.
How many students?
Yeah. We really do not have a predefined pricing because of these ways. Because it is not the same if you need a software that's strong that handles 10,000 students at the same time, or you have a testing session and only 10 students are taking the exam.
Because it's deployed on a virtual machine and it's scalable. So if different number of students require different hardware solutions and hardware requirements. So that's one of the many things that influence in the total final cost of the software.
Okay, right. Thank you. And can you just, are there any questions from the...
And you talk about data. Where is the data stored?
Data is stored on ours. If you choose to store your data on YouTestMe cloud and not your cloud personally or your premises, data is stored in Canada and France and Germany. So there is an option depending on which. That is currently where we have our servers. But we are open to rent, to buy servers in any other location if your regulations requires so. Because European institutions need to be in this.
Thank you. Questions? More questions? No? Okay, just one more question.
Sure.
Yeah. Which universities or schools use your system, your software? So are there any universities?
Yes. It's not here.
Particularly in Europe?
Well, we have Matsakhan, it's Aviation Academy in Brussels. So there are one of
Serbian and Montenegrin air traffic services.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
As you all know, universities, like regular universities, our Serbians are not yet into this kind of solution.
Yeah.
We get it because they're
That's why
suspicious.
and even from Europe, because it's very important for us to see, because of the GDPR and legal aspects, etc. So to see some good practice.
They're GDPR compliant, if I didn't mention that before. We have these use cases, particularly down on IFSI Institute. We have some university in Canada, which is the Centre de Services Scolaires Grandes Universités, Quebec. Then we have the Mobius Institute. This is the international institute. They have testing candidates all over the world. And for example, what is interesting in their case is that they offer tests in, I believe, 45 languages. So our interface, as well as the tests, can be completely and automatically translated into any language.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Then we also have the London Health Science Centre, the Brain Injury Association, and I believe that Lufthansa is also using for their schools, their courses, in order to train their employees, not only to recertificate.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you. This was really interesting presentation because we're all practitioners here, so we want to know what's happening in this field as well. Thank you. Okay, now I have a proposal to make.